What is going on? Stacy over here at Make It a Blockbuster Night. What's going on? Been a while since I've made a video, so I figured let's make a very rad video. So this is going to be my take on the Rad Packs, which is Garrett, Mel, and Justin's challenge was the Rad 9 for the year 1994, your favorite, or however you wanted to take it, your favorite movies or your favorite Rad movies from 1994. So it's me, so I got to do a different take on this. It's actually going to be two lists here, because what's more rad in the 90s still than we were still in the VHS era and we were still in the Laserdisc era. So I have a stack of VHS, and a stack of Laserdisc here. I've got a few honorable mentions in each one, and my Rad 9, I believe for the rest of it. Well, I can't speak. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so hopefully get back in the habit of that, so be on the lookout for that as well. But anyway, enough of all that rambling on. Let's get into it. We will do the VHSs I picked out first. We'll do the honorable mentions. I said 94 was a pretty awesome year for movies. A lot of this stuff, it's all stuff I've seen multiple times. Very I would have been 2 years out of high school, so I wasn't been 20. Yeah, 20. Kind of when I got back into watching movies pretty hardcore again. It's about this time I started at Blockbuster 2. I believe I started in mid to late 94, I believe. So that played a factor in all this stuff as well. So we're going to get into it. We'll do the VHS first. As I said, I've rambled on enough about this stuff. So we're going to start with the honorable mentions. First up, I'm going to show off is A River Wild. Kevin Bacon, Meryl Streep. This is one I haven't watched. No, I need to rewatch this, but actually I think I saw this in the theater if I remember. But fun thriller. This next one. If you were a Star Trek fan, this was a very big deal in 94 when this came out. And this is Star Trek Generations, when you got to see Kirk and Picard on screen together for the first time in a movie. So also saw that in the theater. Enjoyed this one quite a bit, so this had to make the honorable mentions. Let's see. We got The Little Rascals. Another one I had to put in the honorable mention. I haven't watched this in a while. This is one I watched several times back when this came out and a few years after that. But it's been a while since I've seen it, so definitely one I need to check out again. But there is Little Rascals. We got Little Rascals, and how about Little Giants? I think this has showed up on a few lists that I've seen. So this definitely had to be in my honorable mention. Enjoy this a lot. Ed O'Neill, Rick Moranis. Got to see Al Bundy on the big screen. So that was fun. This is a fun movie. This is back in the era of stuff like The Mighty Ducks, Little Big League, Big Green, and stuff like that. So good one there. And the last of the honorable mentions from my VHS pile here is, nothing says the 90s more than The Next Karate Kid with future Academy Award winner Hilary Swank here. So I know this one gets a lot of heat and a lot of hate, but it's another one I need to rewatch. I haven't watched this in quite a while, but I remember liking and enjoying it when I watched it. So there is that. All right, so we're going to get now into those for the honorable mentions for my VHSs, and then we'll get into my Rad 9, and I'm going to cheat on these Rad 9s. I have a tie for 9th on both the Laserdisc and the VHS, and you'll see kind of why. So we'll start off with number 9 on the VHS side. And these two I lumped together because they were two movies that were based on video games that came out in 94, and they were both fighting games. Neither one is great. One is definitely better than the other, but we've got Double Dragon on VHS with Alyssa Milano's in this, Robert Patrick, one of the Wolf brothers, I believe, Scott Wolf, yeah. Mark Dacakis is in this as well. So there is that. And then, of course, it had to come in 9th with a tie with, you're talking the 90s, you got to have some Van Damme in here. And we got Street Fighter on VHS. Alrighty, so coming in at number 8. Saw this in the theater as well. I really like this movie. Doesn't get talked about a lot. I know it has a kind of a core following, core people that people enjoy this movie, but that is The Chase with Charlie Sheen and Christy Swanson. And back when Christy Swanson was a pretty big deal back in the early to mid 90s with Buffy. We had this, we had Higher Learning. So that comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7, I've seen this on a few lists as well. I know Ken had it, I think, 9th on his list. And that is Blank Check. Found this VHS probably within the last year. Had to pick this up, so definitely a fun movie. I don't know if this would get... This probably could still get made today, but there's some subject matter in this that probably wouldn't be in the movie now, but fun movie. Enjoyed this one quite a bit. And we're on to number 6 on the VHS part. And of course, got to add this in there. And that is Reality Bites. In the 90s also had so many movies with great soundtracks. This is another one. The soundtrack on this was pretty awesome. But a great cast with Winona Ryder, Ethan Hawke, Ben Stiller. I mean, Ethan Hawke's character is hard to stand in this movie, but I enjoy this movie quite a bit. This was definitely one that came out during my Blockbuster days. I remember renting this, so there is that. All right, let's get into the top 5 on the VHS side. And number 5, I enjoy this movie a lot as well. It's another one that doesn't get talked a lot about. And that is, it's a Danny DeVito movie, and that is Renaissance Man. Got some very early Mark Wahlberg in this. I'm trying to think who else is in this. James Remar, I believe. It's actually directed by Penny Marshall, I think, too. So definitely one. If you guys haven't seen this, try to find a way to watch this. I don't know. I know it doesn't have a Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure it got a DVD release, but there is a Renaissance Man. All right, number 4. And I didn't have this on Laserdisc, so that's why this wasn't in the Laserdisc pile, but that is True Lies. You can't talk about 1994 without talking about True Lies, so this definitely had to be in one of these 2 lists that I made, so there is that. And now on to number 3, and that is Hoop Dreams. One of the best sports documentaries ever made. It's got a Criterion release as well. So another one, if people out there haven't seen Hoop Dreams, if you're a basketball fan, highly, highly recommend this movie. So, all right, number 2. Another staple of 1994. Had to be on one of these lists. And again, I do not own this on Laserdisc, so that's why I made the VHS list. And that is The Lion King, and this is a special edition, platinum edition of the VHS. Actually, it's a VHS that has some special features on it, so I think that's why it got that special edition title. It had an all-new song, never before seen animation at that time. It was restored and remastered. an all-new Circle of Life music video from the Disney Channel. And it was THX certified. All right, so number one on the VHS part that I'm going to show. This is another one that Ken talked about this a lot on his. I bring his out. I just recently watched it, but and that is Clerks. So that's number one on my VHS side. Since I've saw this, I've been a huge Kevin Smith fan. This was a rental. I remember renting this at Blockbuster, bringing it home before release date. I had no idea what this movie was. Watched it and I was kind of blown away by it. Hadn't really watched a lot of black and white movies at that time. Then just the style of the movie, the content of the movie, being a video store clerk, it kind of hit home a lot. So this definitely had to be number one on that side. Alrighty, now we're going to get into the Laserdisc part. And this is where you're going to see a lot more of the heavy hitters pop up as we get into these. Because I had a lot of these on Laserdisc. But we'll get into the honorable mentions. And up first, I mean, who remembers Richie Rich? I actually just got this Laserdisc a couple weeks ago. Found it at Salvation Army, so I had to pick it up. But 1994, I got to talk about some Macaulay Culkin and Richie Rich. Next honorable mention. This was back in the heyday of Michael Crichton books being put over into movies. And this was actually one that was directed by Barry Levinson, and that is Disclosure with Demi Moore and Michael Douglas. Another one I saw in the theater. I think I ended up seeing most of those that came out. That The Rising Sun, Disclosure, Sphere, kind of all in the same time. So there is that. Another one I need to rewatch, and this has Donald Sutherland in it as well. Another one I need to rewatch. It's been a while since I've seen this, but definitely had to get talked about in a list for 1994. Up next, we've got some Kevin Costner and Elijah Wood, and that is The War. This is another one I think I've only seen this maybe once. It's another one I'm pretty certain was a rental or a bring home before release date when I was at Blockbuster, but I remember enjoying this quite a bit, but it's another one I need to rewatch, but definitely had to make this list or be an honorable mention. And if you're talking the early to mid 90s, you got to have some Wesley Snipes in there, and this is Drop Zone. I enjoy this quite a bit. This is one I've seen many times. You got some Gary Busey and Wesley Snipes teaming up, so another one. If you haven't seen Drop Zone, if you're a fan of Wesley Snipes, I'll recommend watching that. And then the last of the honorable mentions, another movie that I enjoy the soundtrack quite a bit. I enjoy this movie quite a bit. Just couldn't get it in the top 9 on either side, but that is the movie Threesome, and it's exactly about what you think it's about, but it's a fun movie. It's got Laura Flynn Boyle, Stephen Baldwin, Josh Charles. Another one, if you haven't seen this, another one I would recommend from 94. All right, now we'll get into my top 9. And there's a tie at number 9 because, I mean, this dude had 3 movies that came out in 1994. So I picked 2 of them. The 2 of them that I probably have watched the most. I like Dumb and Dumber a lot, but I don't watch it as often as these ones. And that is, first of all, The Mask. Pretty cool art on this laser disc here. And, of course, I mean, if you're talking Jim Carrey, you got to talk about the one that started it all, Ace Ventura. So that is number 9. Number 8, you just saw me talk about this movie over on Bob's channel, and what did I just watch stream we did, and that is with honors, there is the Laserdisc. Actually, this is right now the only way you can watch this in widescreen. The DVD does not have widescreen, and this does not have any other release yet. Definitely needs to get one. Joe Pesci is brilliant in this. Like I said back on that stream, if you haven't seen With Honors, definitely one to check out. So that was number 8. Number 7, and I know Mel will appreciate this, but had to get this in here, and that is Natural Born Killers. Some Oliver Stone in the 90s, so crazy ass movie. It's another one I just got the 4K from Shout. I need to watch that. I haven't watched it yet, but this definitely has to make a list of movies in '94. And let's see, I think that means we're up to number 6 now. And of course, is another big hitter from '94. If you're talking movies from '94, you gotta talk about Forrest Gump. So this is a pretty awesome release of this, the Laserdisc. This is one of these that opens up as well. Try to show you that as best I can. And another movie that has a stellar soundtrack. So, not much to say about Forrest Gump besides it's amazing. Tom Hanks is awesome in this. Robert Zemeckis at his best. So, there is that. Now we're going to get into the top 5. And number 5, movie that just got a 4K within the last probably months, 4 to 6 weeks, and that is The Crow. Another one that I remember bringing home from Blockbuster before release date and watching for the first time. Did not see this in the theater, and not sure why. I wish I would have now, but there is number 5. Love this movie, so this definitely had to be in this list. Number 4. And I'm kind of surprised this wasn't higher on my list. It's one of the first movies that I remember seeing multiple times in the theater. I bet I saw this 5, 6, 7 times in the theater. And that is Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock in Speed. Jean Damont's movie here. What else can you say about Speed? Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's one of the first movies I saw that many times in the theater. And like I said, too, also surprised it wasn't higher, but I mean, these top 3 are classics, and movies that you'll see why this wasn't higher, but there is Speed. Coming in at number 3, we've got Shawshank Redemption. Another one that had to be on this list. If you're talking 94, an essential movie of 1994. Frank Darabont directed. Did an awesome job. Great movie. Recently watched this not too long ago. Holds up completely still. So this definitely had to be in one of these lists. Like I said, this Laserdisc list is more of the heavy hitters, because I just happen to have these all on Laserdisc. Number 2. Kind of went back and forth with 1 and 2 here, but I think my number 1 is one that I probably watched more and I probably would rewatch more, but I've seen this plenty as well. Another essential movie of 1994, and that is Pulp Fiction. This Laserdisc was pretty awesome as well. This is one of the first movie experiences I went to where so many people walked out of the theater. I remember going to this theater. It was probably a showing that was 3/4 the way full. And I think by the time it was over, there was maybe 6 of us left in the theater. There's a lot of middle-aged to older people. I just don't think they knew what they were getting into. And the way it was told, the way it was kind of what the stories were told, the different stories were told were, I don't think something a lot of people were used to at the time. So, yeah, that was still a crazy experience watching that, and it was just bizarre walking out of that theater with only like 6 people left in the theater. But alrighty, and number 1, I have to go with The Professional. This movie, I think I enjoy this movie the more I watch it, and I've seen this movie so many times. It's probably one of those movies I've seen, I bet it's pushing 25, 30 times. And I still find new things. I enjoy about it. So this definitely had to be my number 1. I mean, it was a challenge between this. I mean, between this, Pulp Fiction, Shawshank, they could have gone either way, but this is the one. I picked The Professional because I think it's the one I would rewatch the most. Shawshank to me is kind of a mood movie. You got to be in the right mood to watch that. Kind of with Pulp Fiction as well, I guess. But anyway, so there is that. There are my 2 lists. Like I said, kind of put my own twist on this. I know it'd be hard to put just a 9 movie list for 1994. 1994 was such a great year for film and a lot of essential viewing in 94. So thought I would do my little take on this. So there you go. Got to see some VHS in the collection and Laserdisc in the collection. So all right, guys, we'll wrap that up. Try to get back in the flow of doing these again. I'll have a couple more videos up this coming week. Couple of haul videos. I got a bunch of stuff over there. I got a couple of more things coming in, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday, some stuff from Prime Day. There's a couple more things from the Criterion sale I got on Amazon that are coming in. So I think I'll wait to shoot those videos after I get that stuff in on Tuesday or Wednesday, but I think I'll break it into a couple of videos. There's quite a bit of stuff over there, as I haven't done a haul video in quite a while, so you can look forward to that. Also getting close to 500 subs, so appreciate that. If you haven't subbed, if you could hit the sub button, it'd be highly appreciated and very grateful. Some things coming up as well. I will be on Huck's channel for 90s Trivia coming up on Tuesday night. Next Sunday night, I will be the 28th, I believe. I will be over on Corey's channel for a watch-along of Beverly Hills Cop, so looking forward to that as well. I think me and Corey are planning a movie club episode sometime in August. I think we have a date picked, but I gotta verify that as well. So there is that. So all right, guys, that's enough rambling on. So until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.